Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm going to show you how this beautiful chronograph watch from Addiesdive looks like on these custom straps. This video is sponsored by AliExpress. AliExpress gave me a budget to buy things for my videos and that's what I did. And on top of that, Addiesdive gave me a nice discount for this watch. So thank you AliExpress and thank you Addiesdive. Technical specifications and measurements, which I have done myself as always. This watch of the bracelet, just the case alone, weighs just 42 grams. Diameter of the bezel is 36.9 millimeters. Lug to lug distance is 45.9. Lug width is 20. Thickness is 12.6 millimeters. This watch has double domed mineral crystal with bluish anti-reflective coating. It has 100 meters of water resistance rating. Inside it has VK63 movement and the bezel has aluminum insert. The lume on this watch is nice and it's pretty strong. It's blue and it's all the same on indices and hands, color and intensity. It lasts till the morning without a problem, so it's very functional. The only thing that I'm not sure about is that hour and minute hands look very similar, although minute hand is noticeably longer, but I still wish they were a little bit more different, so it would be easier to distinguish between them, but it's still pretty good and I'm happy that the lume actually lasts till the morning. That's how this watch looks like on my 16.5 centimeter or 6.5 inches wrist with its original bracelet. And in order to resize this bracelet for my wrist, I had to remove 4 links. That's how they look like. And let's see how many links I could still remove from the bracelet. So on this side I could still remove 2 links, and on this side as well I could remove 2 links, and I'm currently set on the smallest hole on the clasp. The bracelet on this watch has solid links and solid end links. It is connected with simple pins, and from 20 millimeters it tapers down to 16 millimeters, and the clasp is also full solid metal. The fitment inside lugs is nice. I don't see any excessive gaps. It does follow the contours of the lugs rather nicely. The only one thing I notice is that the gap between end link and the first link is a little bit excessive in comparison to all other gaps. But other than that, it's fine actually. And the sharpness of this bracelet, I would say it's actually better than average. I wouldn't really complain, it's actually fine. It does have a little bit of a definition on the edge, but I wouldn't call that edge sharp. And once the watch is sitting on my wrist, it's actually alright, I don't feel any discomfort. The articulation of this bracelet is good, it's free to move this way, and side to side it's rather rigid, I would say, which, well, some people see that as a sign of a good quality somewhat. So anyway, the top of this bracelet is brushed. Let me show you up close. The top of the bracelet is brushed and the sides are nicely polished out. The clasp on this watch is very nice. I like the form factor, that it is rather small and cute, rather slim yet very functional because it has plenty of adjustment holes. It's nicely finished, it has this nice chamfered, polished out edge. The middle portion is nicely brushed with Addiesdive logo. Everything is very nicely proportioned. I like that, and it's a nice thing to use. It locks in place very nicely with a nice click sound. It's looking good. I like the form factor. The only thing that I don't like about this clasp is that edges are a little bit sharp. The inside is also a little bit sharp, but hey, at least it is slim with multiple adjustment holes and it looks nice. Even though, according to my measurements, this watch is 12.6 millimeters in thickness, which on paper sounds quite a lot, but in fact in real life this watch doesn't look thick at all. This watch has one of my favorite shapes, favorite designs for the case, with this pillow side, you know, how to say, form factor, and I wouldn't even want this watch to be any slimmer than it actually is, because I don't see any point where extra thickness could be taken away, you know. The case back is already flat, it's nice. The middle portion of the case has this nice pillow shape, and I don't want it to be any different than it is. In my eyes it is perfect. It would be more perfect without those holes on the lugs, but it's just down to personal preferences, I guess. The bezel on top looks really nice. It has nicely polished out edge which goes at an angle. It looks really interesting. The bezel itself has aluminum insert, and on the top we see this double domed mineral crystal. So all in all, I wouldn't want this watch to be any slimmer than it is. I think the proportions are excellent on this case design. The inside of the looks like so. And now let's take a look at the crown and pushers. Pushers are simple, yet I like their simple design. They fit the overall look of this watch in my opinion. Screw down crown with this Addiesdive logo engraving, nothing unusual there. Now let me show you the case back on this watch. If you care how it looks like such. Now speaking about problems, let's see if we can find any problems. The sharpness on the case back this time is actually alright. Can't really complain about that. It is a little bit sharpish, but not anything excessive. It's actually fine. The only thing I could complain about is actually those lug ends. They are like dangerously sharp. They are very, very sharp. I tested this watch on multiple straps already, choosing straps for, you know, strap show, and it was really annoying handling this watch with those sharp lug ends, but they are, you know, not much of a trouble. They are very easy thing to fix. Other than that, I think the design of this case, the form factor, the proportions, it looks really good. The dial on this watch, I would say, is the star of the show. It is the main selling point, even though the whole watch is very nicely proportioned and nicely finished, but that dial is really, really pretty. As soon as I saw this watch, I knew that I must get it for the video, because I really like how it looks like. I usually tend to prefer symmetrical and orderly looking things, but the asymmetry done on this watch is very tastefully done in my opinion. I really like that. If you take a better look at the right subdial, you see it is a little bit oversized, a little bit larger than the left one, overlapping a little bit towards the right into the chaptering, and I think that's very nicely done. It looks really good. Now looking about those edges at those edges at the chaptering, one thing I would like to mention, that underneath this mineral crystal, it does have some distortions around the perimeter, which I do find to be very nice. They are very, very nice, because the middle portion of the dial still stays clean of distortions. It doesn't distort. Only the perimeter around the dial gets distortion. So I would say that the amount of distortions this crystal makes is also very, very tasteful amount. I like that. I think it's nice. I wish it was sapphire crystal though, but as far as mineral crystals go, this is definitely one of the best ones, because it's beautiful by itself and it has very, very good clarity. As you can probably tell, it looks really good, and it has that magical glow that I really like in front of the light. It lights up like that. It looks really like magical. Really nice. Now another thing is, well, let's just take a better look. The thing, how you see this dial in pictures and in video, I'm afraid you might think that the dial is completely white, which is not. The dial is not completely white. It is actually silver color, but very bright silver color. I would say matte finish silver color, but it's more towards the white. That's why it appears to be white in pictures and in video, I believe. Probably on this angle you can see the true color right now. It's a little bit more silver than white. Anyway, I think it's a very, very beautiful dial. I usually don't like colors on watches somewhat, but this is very little amount of colors, and I do find this amount of colors on this watch to be very tasteful. I think it's very beautiful. So all in all, it's just, I don't know, eye candy of a watch. It looks really good, and I love how this circular pattern on subdials look like. I hope you can see that. Very nice engraving, and the very edge of subdials is nicely shiny, reflecting the light at certain angles. Man, this thing is really beautiful. Now let's do a little bit of a quality control check as usual, starting with the crown. It's a screw down crown. It's actually a very nice thing to use, nothing really bad to tell you about the crown action. Let's check the alignment of hands by setting them on exactly 6. So alignment, as far as my eyes can see, seems to be fine. Now looking at the, by the way, looking at the right subdial, let's set on exactly 24. Let's see the alignment of the subdial. Okay, and the alignment seems to be fine as far as my eyes can see. Now let's check the chronograph. Let's screw the crown back in place. Those pushers feel very nice. They have very nice, satisfying, clicky feedback. So that's how it works. Let's start it. Let's stop it. Let's reset it. So this big orange hand belongs to the chronograph. It shows seconds, and the left subdial belonging to the chronograph counts up to 60 minutes. And all the alignments and everything seems to be very well done. I really can't find anything to complain about. Bezel seems to be nicely aligned, all the hands and indices. It's a nicely put together watch, nothing really to complain about. Let's begin the strap show with the strap, which was already on this watch. I have worn this watch on this strap yesterday all day long, and I was loving it. It looks great on this strap. This is sailcloth style nylon strap. And all the straps I'll show you today, you can find them on my website, thomaswatchreviews.com. And I think this watch on this strap looks great. And this is the same strap, except it is green, and that's how it looks like on this watch. So for comparison, the same strap but gray. I actually like how this watch looks like on brighter straps, a little bit better than darker ones, but it's still interesting. It's still interesting combination, orange with green. Still looks good. It looks definitely looks decent, I must say. And another nylon strap. This one is blue. That has this single piece keeper, which feels very nice. It has this interesting texture and feels very comfortable. And definitely blue strap on this watch looks great. I think this is a nice combination for this watch. And this is brown leather strap with holes and this beige stitching on the sides. And that's how this strap looks like on this watch. Looks pretty good. I would say it matches this watch somewhat surprisingly well, given the fact that, in my opinion, this watch is a little bit of a modern style, while the strap is a little bit more of a vintage style, but somehow this combination seems to be working just fine, I think. And one of you asked me to show how this watch looks like on FKM rubber strap with curvy ends, and I'm sorry I don't have FKM rubber strap with curvy ends, only just a simple rubber strap with curvy ends. Anyway, that's how it looks like. With this particular strap, the fitment is actually not perfect. Even though there is no gap between the case and the strap, this strap does not follow the contours of the lugs very well. So it doesn't look terrible, but it's not perfect fitment either, at least the strap that I have on my website, this one. This is elastic nylon strap with this interesting hook, and I think this watch looks really good on the strap. I think it fits the style very well. Interesting hook, I mean this one, it's like, yeah, I don't really trust it much, but I think it at least looks interesting, and it is elastic, as I can show you there. I think this gray color matches this watch very nicely and looks good. And overall, this style of the strap on this watch, I think it's a very nice combination for this watch. And this is the same strap, except this one is black, and I think this is also very nice fit for this watch design wise. It looks really good. This watch looks really good on this style of a strap, in my opinion. At least in my eyes, that is, you know. I think it looks good on a gray nylon strap, which has this texture. It's a very good nylon strap, I like it. And I think this watch looks good on this strap. Nice sporty looking combination for this watch. And another nylon strap, which is blue and has this beautiful W pattern. And I think it looks great. Also, I think it looks great, this watch on the strap. Color wise, style wise, and all, you know, it's nice. It's just nice combination for this watch. And we are back on the original bracelet, which by itself is actually a boring bracelet, but on this watch it just works somehow. I think this watch with its original bracelet actually looks okay. I like that it tapers down quite significantly, down to 16 millimeters. Makes it look a little bit lighter on the eyes, a little bit more elegant somewhat. So I don't know, I like it. I like it even on a bracelet. It's a beautiful watch. So to the end of the video, let's play a little bit with the light. Let me give you a little bit different shots. And I want to talk a little bit about the price. Once this watch was released, I remember the price was around 55 euros, something like that. But the price was quickly increased up to around 100 euros, as I see today, around 100 euros before, using all kinds of discount codes, which is unfortunate. And as Addiesdive told me, that the reason for that is that the price for these VK63 movements has increased very much, so they were forced to increase the price of these watches so much. So that's unfortunate. And is the price gonna be going down? I believe nobody can really tell you what's gonna happen. If the prices of the movements will go down, of course the price of these watches will go down, as simple as that. But nobody really can predict the future. All I can tell you is that you can use all kinds of coupon codes, discount codes, you know, coins and whatever, and push the price down. Well, at least I believe to 80 euros perhaps. At 80 euros I would say, yeah, the price is reasonable. But you know, keep in mind, this watch is really nicely done, really nicely put together, and it's a very, very beautiful design. The only major downside from my point of view is that it does not have sapphire crystal. So that's the major negative for me personally. But I know many of you don't really care about the lack of sapphire crystal, and the mineral on this crystal is basically just as good as it gets. As good as it gets. On certain angles I do see blue anti-reflective coating on the edges of the sapphire crystal. That's why I say that it has bluish anti-reflective coating, but on this mineral crystal it's not really that noticeable. So it's just clean. It's just clear and clean crystal. So, you know, at least we have that. This crystal is mineral, but it's as good as it gets. And overall, looking at this watch, I mean, man, this thing is really, really pretty. Really pretty. And one thing I would like to mention as well, as I worn this watch yesterday all day long, I noticed one thing is that if you try to see the time in direct of a strong light, those hands and indices tend to disappear sometimes. They are a little bit difficult to read sometimes. So I wish my idea for the improvement would be to use black frame for indices and hands. Instead of stainless steel frame, black frame would look nice design wise, and it would be easier to read the time. But it's not a major problem really. Many watches have silvery dial with stainless steel hands, you know, nothing unusual here, just a little idea for the potential improvement. Anyway, very, very pretty watch. Very, very pretty watch. That's all I can tell you. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.